said, watch him throw the ball. We gon' pick it off. You gon' let him hit the hole or you gon' cut it off. You gon' play through fourth and long or you gon' punt it off. Your defenders, heavy hitters, put your pads in. Don't be looking for the ref to throw no flags in. Keep the helmet on, keep the cleats tight. You the type to want to win by any means, right? You should look alive. This is Trap or Die.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of Trap or Die Podcast. I'm your host, Trap or Die Podcast, Mual. The fellas are on their way. Matter of fact, a couple of them backstage right now. But while we get through administrative items, let's get that out the way. While you're tapping in live, we appreciate you all watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button on the YouTube side. If you're listening on the audio, man, we always appreciate that too. Make sure you hit us with a rating and review if you can. Takes 10 seconds to do so, and it's free to show your support that way, man. So as always, film sessions. We do have a film session up right now on the YouTube channel and on hogshaven.com. I do written work as well. 1,000 words that I wrote. I don't even know how I did that with my day job. I swear, I looked at when I hit submit, bro. I was like, ain't no way in hell I just sat here and wrote 1,000 words. Anyway, written version is on Hogs Haven, and the YouTube version, obviously, we appreciate you if you're watching on the YouTube side. You can just click that, get that view, hit that like button over there as well. Appreciate it. That is breaking down the entire defensive line in terms of the additions that they brought to the team. So that's pretty cool. I appreciate everybody who watching. All right, RVA, appreciate you checking in, big dog. What's up? All right, let's get the fellas in. I think those are all the administrative items. Let's get the fellas in. Let me bring this, and we bring that, and we bring it, and we good. AJ and Dre is checking in right now. What's up, fellas? How y'all feeling, bro?
Good, brother. Happy to be here. But when is the damn draft, man? I need some football action. These owners' meetings ain't cutting it for me.
You got 23. You got 23 days, right? Yeah.
I'm glad you keep it count, AJ, because I wasn't.
Yeah, I want to keep it count, bro. I'm lost in all that.
How you can't wait for it, but then you don't know when it's supposed to happen.
Because I'm just thinking.
Just wake me up when it's here.
Action. That's what I'm saying. It ain't here yet. That's the most important
thing. I just got word that the draft is August 10th.
Yeah, right.
I'm about to say, yeah.
NFL ain't losing that money.
I gotta go ahead and put in some leave slips after that. I can't wait that long. Okay, everybody good, man. Dre mentioned the owners' meetings. Some news that came out of that. I think it was actually some pretty interesting tidbits that came out of that from AP and Dan Quinn themselves. Which one do y'all want to start with? So I mean, I can lay them out. Adam Peters, Dan Quinn spoke on his expectations for Debo and Cliff Kingsbury offense. Adam Peters spoke on conversations that's being had and not being had with Terry McLaurin and Laramie Tunsil. We had the Brandon Coleman conversation. And I'm sure there's some other things that. Javon Kinlaw. Which one do we want to tackle?
Let's start from the top. Adam Peters is the top, right? Let's start from there.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can go with Adam Peters and Debo. Or there was another tidbit where he talked about like trading for these players. What do you say? Perennial corner, a perennial left tackle, and also a perennial playmaker. And that would be in reference to Marshawn Lattimore, Laramie Tunsil, and Debo.
Oh well, let's start there. I'm bringing up the quotes from Hogs Haven. They captured it. Let's see. Adam Peters. Adam Peters gonna trade in 5 times. Where is I remember the question. Or they just have the videos up here. All right, you may have to go ahead and kind of recap. I'm trying to find the exact quote, but you know exactly what he said, AJ, about the trade philosophy and stuff like that.
How about? Oh dang, I would say just pull it up on here, video wise, but yeah, I mean he was essentially asked about. The draft and going into the process with only 5 picks. And he pretty much touched on the fact that, going into the draft with 5 picks, it may stay the same, it may not. But during that process, they were able to acquire a perennial cornerback, a perennial left tackle, a perennial playmaker, wide receiver, and a Debo Samuel, Laramie Tunsil, and Marshawn Lattimore. So
this might be it. Let's see. What is this? 49 seconds. All right, let's see if this is it. And then we can continue the conversation. But this is Adam Peters' video from JP Philly. Says Washington made draft pick trades to get great players and added they still have 5 picks right now. And that number could expand. This is Adam Peters at the owners conference or owners meetings on today's Tuesday, so Monday. He spoke yesterday.
How do you kind of address the way you kind of gone about this?
Well, I think, you take each opportunity as they come, right? And so understanding where, we able to get really good players at really good, important positions, there's give and take to that, right? And so we did pick 9 players last year. I think they all made the team, right? And then we had 2 rookie free agents make the team as well. We have 5 picks this year. We could have more, depending on what happens. So we do. It's almost a full complement both years. Obviously, you do want to build through the draft. I feel that all the time. But understanding when you can get, premier corner, premier receiver, premier left tackle, those are things you have to really look into. And we just felt that was the best move for us.
So that was AP. And to AJ's point, he kind of expanded on why there was a willingness over the course of about 7 months now, including the Marshawn Lattimore trade, to be willing to move your picks. I think I honestly think it's interesting when people. I don't think there's I don't think there's a malicious intent behind it, but I think when people question him about I think what's up with this philosophy? You say you value these draft picks, you only have 5 going into the draft. What's the plan? And I said, I don't think it's malicious. More so, they want to understand them. But I think it can be pretty simple. And I think the end of his statement in that, when you can trade for what he views as a premier corner, tackle, and wide receiver, and you can get them for X amount of cost that fits in your budget, right? Talking about draft capital, why wouldn't you do it? And I think it really just comes down to that, because at the end of the day, if you can get premier players for draft picks that it's going to be a crapshoot anyway, these are the risks you're willing to take for people that and that you have actual film on in the NFL. So I did think that one was interesting, but from my standpoint, it's I don't know, you would imagine that this is something that is pretty plain and simple, or black and white in terms of the approach, if it makes sense. And also shout out to Adam Peters, because some teams apparently knew that Laramie Tunsil was on the market, but to be one of the few teams that's in the know and willing to explore that, and you end up getting him, that is the extra effort that you and your team that works for you, that they'll put in to end up getting that premier left tackle that opens up the ability for Brandon Coleman to move to the right side. So I think it was a pretty objective and honestly reasonable situation, because there's no telling what happens next year. And the subtle flex of even mentioning the draft picks from last year and that they all made the team. He just slept. They all made the team, right? Yeah, he knows there's still people last year who didn't even really see the field like that on the offense or defense. So special teams, sure, but there's still people. You're talking about 2 extra. If you got 9 last year, you had 2 extra over. So think about it in the sense of if some of them didn't even play, you got 5 draft picks going into this season. But then you also have an additional couple players last year who probably didn't even see the field that may have an opportunity to see the field this year. Those are things that people need to think about when you talk about the fact that they only have 5 picks. They don't need to trade back.
Yeah, I think it even went further in the conversation where he touched on other factors. It just slipped my mind, but I'll get back to it. But when you have the opportunity to acquire top tier players, you got to take advantage of that. Not every single draft has players that you love. You're not going to be enamored by every single player in the draft process, and especially when you're sitting at pick 29. So the thought just came back to me. What he was touching on was, it's not like we're picking in the top 20 of picks, where it's like a abundance of like extremely impactful players. Like we're in a position where essentially we can either stay put or move back, but in order to move back, you got to have a trade partner, or even move up. Just depends on how the board falls. Right now, you don't know how the board is going to fall. So due to that, and not really liking maybe the left tackle position in the draft, the cornerback position in the draft, also free agency options, the wide receiver position in particular, as far as like playmakers like a Deebo Samuel, when you have a Cliff Kingsbury that's calling a bunch of screens, some short routes where you need a yak guy, someone that can also play in the backfield. I mean, we all know, we watched the game. We've studied the tape. Cliff has been looking for Deebo Samuel his entire NFL career, and now he finally has that guy. So I can only imagine what he's doing right now at this hour, dialing up to utilize a Deebo Samuel. So you got to take advantage of that. I think when people here build through the draft, they get so enamored with the fact that that's the only way to build your team. No, you need to be able to do it in all different facets, from draft to free agency to also being able to acquire players from other teams via trade. Like, that's the whole point of being a GM. A GM is not supposed to just strictly focus on just drafting. I mean, how many draft picks hit per team annually? It's very rare. And I think I've touched on this in the recent weeks because it's really come to my mind. When people focus on when Washington was drafting, what was it, 2021? When they had a top 15 pick and moved back and acquired more picks and took guys like Brian Robinson Jr., Sam Howell. Who's the other guy I'm missing? Was Cosme part of that trade? I mean, part of that? No.
I think you might be thinking of the 2022 draft, wasn't it? Jahan Dotson draft.
Yeah,
Jamin
okay,
Davis
so that was
2022.
2022.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you traded and got these extra picks, but none of those guys paid out. Like, they didn't turn out to be anything. You would love to have a Chris Olave and Kyle Hamilton or a Jameson Williams right now. You don't have those guys. Instead, you have a bunch of Jags. Most of them aren't even on the team no more. Sam Howell's in Seattle. Jahan Dotson is in Philly. B-Rob is probably on his way out the door. This is last year. So whether he makes the team or gets moved, he probably won't be with the team next year. So you acquired all these picks and had more than the usual teams have, and you missed on those players. And yes, some people would be like, well, that's Ron Rivera picking those players. But let's not act like during the San Francisco tenure, which Adam Peters was a part of, they didn't miss on a lot of guys too. Like, they missed on the Trey Lance. Some might say they missed on the Javon Kinlaw.
But that was a trade up to Trey Lance.
But yeah, Adam Peters still likes the guy. But I mean, to take a guy first round and he don't really produce, and injury strike him, a lot of people count that as a miss. And there's other people that they missed on in San Francisco, but they were fortunate to acquire certain guys in the draft that panned out, like a Fred Warner, George Kittle. They were also able to get some guys in free agency that have now panned out to be some solid players in the NFL, such as like a Chavius Ward, even DJ Reed. DJ Reed formerly was of the 49ers, at a point in time. Now he's with the Detroit Lions. He was viewed as the top cornerback in the free agency market. So, yeah, it's just a crap shot. But I think too many fans, when they hear build through the draft, they just get so caught up on that's the only way we're going to move. And Adam Peters has shown you, hey, we're going to do all three, or all four in a sense. We're going to retain our own talent. We're also going to be active in the free agent market. We're going to draft guys. And we're going to look to trade guys if it makes sense for what we're looking for our roster and our culture.
Yeah, I mean, for me, building the roster is fluid. Like it just depends on the context of what your situation is. Like when you think of what Adam Peters and the regime dealt with when they first got here, their initial plan was we have a blank canvas, so to speak. That's why you saw the big, huge roster turnover when they got here. I mean, it wasn't like we had much to kind of start with. Ron Rivera left us with bare bones. So in a normal year, in your first year of a new regime, when you come in the way Adam Peters and them come in, you probably think a successful year is winning 6 or 7 games, maybe in your first year. Whoever you draft, maybe you're starting to identify some core players and whatnot. You're drafting in probably the top 15 the next year, so you can grab another one of those big core players. That didn't happen last year because Washington got the quarterback position so right. I mean, not just right, they got the quarterback position so right where they won 12 games. And now you're kind of in that level of the playing field with the contenders of the NFL, like after 1 year where you didn't expect to kind of be. So now you have to kind of move like a contender, which was a really challenging thing for Adam Peters because you still have more work to do than the usual contenders like the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Eagles. These teams are the usual contenders where they move a little bit differently. They move through free agency. They move through the draft. Secondary in a sense, like they have to work through trades to add elite players to build around their elite quarterbacks. Washington was in a bit of a different situation where you didn't have the elite players with the elite quarterback, but you still have to move differently. You have to get elite players to go with this elite quarterback. That's why you make the move for Laramie Tunzel. And Adam Peters mentioned it in one of these interviews where he's talking at the owners' meeting. He said, it's a little bit different if you pick it in the top 5. And, that's a sure thing with the left tackle. But we wanted to upgrade the offensive line, and the offensive line needed upgraded. So that's why you go out and you get a Laramie Tunzel any way you can, even with the Deebo Samuel. Now, Deebo Samuel is probably more of a trade made because of the familiarity that Adam Peters have with him. But Deebo Samuel is a known, proven playmaker. That's another move that you make for your elite quarterback. You get a playmaker around him. So, I mean, you don't have those kind of impact players where you're sitting at in the 29th pick of the draft. Like, you don't know if you're going to get a sure thing at the offensive line. So you just kind of have to be aggressive. Like, you're not going to always have these opportunities that you're going to build through free agency. Build through the draft. Like you want to, like a normal rebuilding team. Whereas, like I said, if Adam Peters comes in year 2, you're still kind of in that rebuild. Washington isn't in that rebuild mode, so to speak, anymore. I mean, it's still a rebuild in the sense that, you're still kind of rebuilding the roster, but you're also still talking about how can we get to that next level? Like, we made it to the NFC Conference Championship game last year. What's the next level? How do we get there? We have to get more elite players. We have to get better players. And that's not going to just happen with these draft picks that we have. Because the draft picks, as even Mual just pointed out, 9 draft picks made the team last year. And 2 undrafted free agents made the team last year. A lot of those draft picks didn't play. Those are still the guys that you're developing. And that's kind of going to be the same situation this year. Like, we had 5 picks going into the draft. We're probably going to come out with more draft picks coming out of this draft. But how many of those guys are going to be ready to contribute right away to what Washington has already have right now, or what Washington has established in year 1? A lot of those guys are not going to be ready. Like, it's as simple as that. Maybe the first round pick's going to be ready. Maybe the second round pick's going to be ready. But who knows? I mean, after that, we don't have a third round pick anymore. But even if you had a third round pick, who's to say that third round pick's going to come in ready to contribute right away? So I like Adam Peters' approach. I like his philosophy. I mean, again, you can go back to what he talked about last year. I want to build through the draft. Yeah, that sounds fine when you think you're going to go and have a normal year that Washington probably should have had last year, but they didn't. And now Adam Peters is adjusting to what he's seen this team put together already. And now I have to be a little bit more aggressive. I can't just build through the draft. I need players that's going to help this elite quarterback right now. So to me, it's refreshing to see a GM that can adjust his philosophies. Now it's going to be a point in time where they get back, where they're going to be able to probably draft like the Eagles do. Like, the Eagles are an elite team, but every year the Eagles have a lot of draft picks. I mean, this year they probably got, double-digit draft picks like they normally do. Washington's not there yet, but in the future they may have that. Once you start getting to the compensatory picks, once you start accumulating some of those picks and you start to establish that roster, you're going to get to that point where you're starting to get more of those draft guys. But right now, he had to adjust his philosophy to say, I need more elite players on this roster now for my quarterback.
Other things that AP talked about, Terry McLaurin and his contract, as well as Laramie Tunsil. Which one are we looking at? Terry, AP, I think, showed his hand when it was with the local media, and he went on Kate Adams, Up and Adams show. Said the same thing on both occasions. We wanted to make Terry a commander for a long time, and he has been in talks with their agent. They have been in talks with his agent. And Laramie Tunsil was a question asked about him, and they have not had any contract talks with Laramie, given that he's his own agent. But if we have them, we'll keep them in house. I think the main thing for Laramie is a flashback in that Laramie made mention in his intro that Washington knows where they stand, both sides. And I think the biggest update is knowing that Washington is acknowledging the value that Terry brings to the team from a public standpoint. Just understanding how long or how they want to keep him there. So I would think it's ideal for them to get that done before August. I would imagine, like, that's like before you report to training camp, or maybe before the season starts, maybe that week off before the week one matchup. But it's good to know like that's something that they're talking about. There's the update. Yeah, I'll stop there for Laramie and Terry conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was transparent. They've been having conversations with Terry's representation. Only makes sense.
So no prove it deal, AJ. We ain't putting Terry on your prove it deal.
I mean, I can't until there's pen to paper. Who knows? Like, who knows what that conversation is like? Because I mean, I think Adam already said that they want to keep him. They want to make him a commander for life. In a sense, that's what he said, right? So it just really boils down to the numbers. Like I said, it was my opinion. I wouldn't give him an extension. I let him prove it. And I honestly think he should bet on himself. But at the end of the day, him and his representation.
I'm sorry, this is ridiculous to me. How much more does Terry has to prove that he deserves to be a commander for life? What else does he have to prove to you?
It's not about proving anything. It's more so he could go into this situation and blow out every single number that he's ever put up as a Washington player, and he could bank on getting paid even more money. You feel me? Like that. That's how I'm thinking about it, because I look at it from perspective. He's never played with another guy. Like, he's never played with another guy. A lot of people may say that Debo is not a number two. I disagree with that. Or whatever. Debo could be whatever you want him to be, but he's never played alongside a guy of that nature that can deviate some of the coverage or dictate coverage a different way from him. So he possibly could be lowballing himself. If he balls out, he could be paid even more than what he might get in this opportunity before training camp happens or before the regular season. That's what I'm saying. I would bet on myself in that situation versus trying to force myself to sign a particular deal now when I could possibly go into this situation alongside second year with a quarterback. I've never had that familiarity with a quarterback before.
Well, what if he wants to get signed? Let me rephrase that. What if he actually wants to be in Washington just as much as Adam Peters wants to make him a commander for life?
But you could want all those things, but you also have to understand that you could be losing out on money. I mean, it's the same thing. Jonathan Allen a few years ago wanted to be in Washington.
What's the ad versus that?
You said
what's
what?
The ad? What's the inverse? What's the inverse of like losing out on money? And like, I think the inverse, and what I mean by that is like if you wait, or excuse me, if you sign the deal now and you miss out on the other opportunity because you bought out, like what if you wait and you lose out on money because you get hurt?
Yeah, but that's the risk. That's why I said you got to bet on yourself. Like, at the end of the day, he's made money. You know, he's reached his second contract from being a third round pick. He got paid. So in my opinion, you know, I'm saying people, it's not about being greedy. It's about hitting the market at the right time and being able to bank on it. Like that is the key thing. And if you look at it from a familiarity standpoint, like I was saying, second year being with Jaden Daniels, we know Jaden Daniels is a top 5 quarterback in this league already. Terry has never had that continuity with a quarterback before. He's never had the continuity of an offensive coordinator of this nature before. He also has never played with a dynamic wide receiver like a Deebo Samuel before. So when you factor in all those things, he has a possibility of accomplishing some milestones as far as his career, from a touchdown standpoint, a reception standpoint, to yardage standpoint. So that's where I would say I would possibly talk about banking on myself and trying to get to a bigger bag versus settling right now, because there's a bigger bag that's going to be there, especially the cap keeps increasing. So that's just my opinion. But, you know, his representation got a different standpoint, and Terry knows where he wants to be. Cool. You feel me? If Washington strikes a deal with him, they strike a deal. If not, hey, we kind of understand what happened there. But then with the Lermy thing, I don't think like anything is going to change on that standpoint until maybe a little bit prior to the season. They want to get him in the building. Those guys haven't been in the building fully yet with their teammates or whatever. And maybe they strike a deal. Like you said, Lermy represents himself. He does it with consulting from an individual that I'm familiar with. And maybe, you know, when that comes time, they might do a deal before the season. But I don't think it's anything to be worried about in regards to losing out on Terry extension or either a Lermy extension.
Laramie, his deal is what, 2 more years?
Yeah, this year and next year.
Yeah, I mean, so with Laramie, I don't know if there's so much of urgency to kind of get a deal done right now with Laramie, because you do have him under contract until, you know, for 2 more years. So you could probably start talking extension next summer. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if something happens this summer. Just because he's new here, you want to lock this guy down. But Terry, I mean, I think Adam gets the assignment with Terry. Like, I mean, why wouldn't you want Terry around for the rest of his career here? I mean, I don't know how long Terry's career is going to be, but I think Terry has earned every right to, you know, finish his career here. I think he's earned this extension. I wouldn't put him on any kind of, you know, go out there and prove it thing, because I don't know what else Terry has to prove here. I mean, kind of to counter AJ's point where he said, you know, Terry's never played, you know, under consistent offense and never played with a guy like Deebo on the other side. But you know, he's done what he's done without all of this stuff, you know, and it goes to show that I think Terry can kind of play with anyone. I mean, this guy came from wide receiver university in Ohio State. He's played with talented receivers. He wasn't even,
but Dre, the organization would love for Terry to sign right now. That's what they would love to happen. I'm talking about from
how much does he lose
from his
AJ?
side.
But AJ, how much? I mean, in millions, how much are we talking? Is the difference between Terry signing today between next year?
He could lose anywhere between 8 to 15 million on guarantees. That's the biggest thing of the contract, not the average per year, but from guarantee standpoint, that's a lot of money.
But he's 32, so the money kind of subtracts every year when you get to his age. When you get to Terry's age, that, you know, he's not 25 years old. You know, he's not 26 years old. You're not paying Terry, you know, you're not going up the ladder with contract wise for Terry year by year. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm saying, like, the money, how much is he actually going to be losing towards his happiness?
If the production is there, you have no reason not to pay him what he's worth. You feel me? And all I'm saying is the other side of the picture is you are now in a familiar situation that you have never been in your career. Yes, injuries can occur, but you've never been in a consistent standpoint with a quarterback, an OC. You've never even had a partner on the opposite side to play alongside with. You could, his numbers was he barely got a little bit over 1,000 yards. Yeah, he had 13 touchdowns, but what if he could go out there and get 1,600 receiving yards and the same touchdowns, 13 touchdowns, and maybe 92 catches on the season? Like that helps him get.
Well, you said you don't even see that happening.
You said I don't see that happening?
You ain't say those numbers verbatim, but like we went over like the statistics last episode or maybe 2 episodes ago. That ain't. I agree. I don't see him as those 1,600 yard receivers.
And that's the thing.
I mean,
you saying he can go up.
I don't see him as that.
But there's more touches to
know.
go around. There's more touches to go around on offense now.
Yeah, we've never seen it before, and I don't know if it's gonna happen. I feel confident it's probably not gonna happen. That's just me outside looking in. But at the same token, we still haven't seen these boys on the field together. We haven't seen how Cliff is going to use Debo, how he's going to use Terry, how the defense is even going to dictate their coverages with a Debo, with maybe if they're able to get a dynamic running back in Travion Henderson back there, alongside with whatever else happens. We don't know. So that's the question mark right there.
Go ahead, Dre. You got that. And
I'll just say this last thing on Terry. I mean, again, I just don't think that the numbers increase much, especially if you have more talent on offense. Like Terry's not the whole offense now. He's not the guy that you say you have to force feed now when you add a Debo in and potentially maybe you add in, a dynamic running back into the mix maybe through the draft. I just don't think that Terry's numbers is going to go crazy. Like, when you're talking about the 14, 15, 1600s to the point where that's what you're trying to prove and you're trying to get that next contract. I think Terry accepts his role here. I mean, he's always going to be valued here for as long as he can play at the level that he plays at now here, to the point where he's going to get what he's been worth here. And I think he'll be just fine with that because it's more about fit for a guy like Terry. And I'm not trying to speak for the man because everybody's their own man. Everybody has their own desires, but just kind of reading Terry and just seeing the type of person he is, I think he will just be happy here, making what he's worth here. And you pay him what he's worth. And I don't think you expect anything more than what you've seen. Like, we got Debo. He's going to go out there and get 1,600 yards and he's going to be worth more money. I just don't see that as the expectation because I think when you add a Debo and potentially maybe that other running back, Terry may not get as many touches as he had in the offense. All we need Terry to be in his offense is the Terry that he's always been. We don't need an elevated Terry to this point. Like Terry is what we need. Like what Terry is right now is perfectly fine for what this team is. And I think you pay him what he's worth. And I think he's fine with getting paid what he's worth.
All right. So actually I thought about it. Let's take a break, talk about Underdog right quick, and then let's get back to a couple more Dan Quinn AP conversations, and we will do our second mock draft on Trap or Dive. This one ought to be fun because we're going to have to add in some stipulations. I want to hear from the chat and see what you're thinking about what we're trying to add into our rule book for this mock draft. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and talk about them people over there, Underdog Fantasy. Where are we at? Boom. Do you ever watch sports and find yourself wishing there was a way to get into the game? Sometimes I do. But with Underdog, there's finally a way to make picks on sports without leaving the house. The game is in your hands. Underdog is the leading sports app, and you can play now in your state. To play, choose whether a player will go higher or lower on one of their stats, such as touchdowns, strikeouts, points scored, and more. Oh, I got logged out of my account. That is not good. They've got all your favorite leagues, teams, and styles to choose from. Create entries with all baseball picks or mix and match across other sports. You can play as little as $1. And if you get everything right, get up to 1,000 times your money. So you could turn $1 into $1,000 with just your sports knowledge. Millions of fans have already won billions making picks on Underdog Fantasy. And their app has over 1,000 times 100. Which my math is right. Is that 100,000? 100,000 5-star reviews and millions of players. I hope my math is right. Wow. Let's see if this one works. It did not work. Let's see if this one works. What a time to be locked out of your account while you're doing an ad, right? Does that work? And then if I get the third one, I fail. Look, I think we're gonna go ahead. Look, all y'all know where I am, bro. And matter of fact, if y'all were listening to the All 32 podcast from last week, that my boy Dog put into play for us, that the LA Lakers, I forgot who they played, but my man went over. He didn't get one right. The Nuggets, Lakers and Nuggets. My man went over. So you all give me a little bit of time so I can give y'all the sauce, the recipe for the right plays. You're going to hear from your boy in a little bit. Download the app now, though, and sign up using promo code TRIPLEDIVE to unlock a special offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Join on the fun. Sign up using promo code TRIPLEDIVE. Claim your special offer today and get up to $1,000 bonus cash instantly upon your first deposit. You must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. If you're in Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call a 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Let's get back to the show. Get the fellas back in here. All right. Billy, what you apologizing for? First off, Jay Tizzy, what you don't know is I have a pre-recording, but the way this is set up, I get a new script almost every other month, bro. It's out the Underdog, that's cool, but it would be a waste of time to pre-record it because it's gonna be a new one every time.
You just gotta record one every month now.
Probably, and guess what? For my editor, it costs money to do that. So I ain't wasting no money on that. So that's why I do live reads.
Just make sure the account good before you log in, so you don't get locked out that joint.
Yeah, man. I check my joint. I'm like, hold on, bro. Why I ain't in that joint? But I ain't about to. Shout out to Underdog. All right, let's get back to the show, man. While y'all here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We definitely appreciate. Hey, Jay Tizzy is hilarious. I mean, look, you said it was a hostage read when I showed the pre-recording. It's funny enough. You probably don't even know.
I know.
You probably don't even know that I was doing the pre-recording if you said that. You said both of them was hostage reads. But while y'all here, man, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it if you are brand new checking in. I saw somebody on the film session video talking about he was a new viewer or new follower to the channel. So I wish I had your name in front of me, but shout out to you. And much appreciated on checking the videos. Hopefully you stick around for the live streams too. All right. We were talking about offensive tackle to some degree, Laramie Tunsil for a little bit, but Laramie Tunsil, in other news, shifts Brandon Coleman to a new position. Dan Quinn spoke today and said that they will be starting Brandon Coleman on the right side at tackle. So there will actually be initially a Brandon Coleman, Andrew Wiley position battle at right tackle. And he said, let's see what he mentioned about. Here it is. Wiley will both start the offseason program at right tackle and compete there along with Brandon Coleman. Whether one moves inside to guard depends largely on Sam Cosmi's timetable of recovery from a torn ACL. So that's where we are with the right side of the offensive line. We get our immediate answer in terms of what they're going to do. Brandon starts at right tackle. And honestly, I think AP is standing on his word in terms of that's why I was I had a hard time seeing, I think he could go inside, but I have a hard time. They really feel like they view him as a tackle. It will make sense for them to move him at right tackle. So that's kind of where they get the first stab at that. But I give y'all the floor first to kind of talk about that, which I think.
Yeah, and now it kind of makes sense because they just signed a swing tackle a couple weeks ago, Foster Sorrell from the Chargers. So, I mean, this was the elephant in the room. Where's Brandon Coleman going after Laramie Tunsil? I mean, we knew we know the plan for Brandon Coleman is he has to start, right? Now, whether he starts at guard or whether he's going to the other tackle spot is the question. So we got the question answered. He's apparently or allegedly at least starting out at the right side until they figure out if he's good or not over there. And then we're going to have to kick this guy inside. We don't know what we're going to do with him. So now what happens with Andrew Wiley is the question. Because obviously Coleman's going to get first dibs at right tackle. I don't think Adam Peters and his crew and his staff, they're ready to kind of come up off of their initial, I guess, evaluation that Coleman's a tackle. Like even last year, you go back to last year, they were pretty confident that Coleman can play tackle. But I guess they didn't like what they saw at left tackle. So now we're going to try him at right tackle. Is he going to be better at right tackle? We'll see. I mean, maybe an offseason to work for Brandon Coleman helps him, but he's going to get that first dib. And Andrew Wiley just had a contract. What do you call it? Reconstruction. They reconstructed his contract. And so to the point where it's kind of more team friendly. So that means you want to keep this guy around, but he's not a swing tackle. And you needed a swing tackle because you let Cornelius Lucas go. You didn't re-sign him. So you brought in Foster Sorrell, who's a swing tackle. Andrew Wiley is now the wild card because you know what they want to do with Brandon Coleman. They want Brandon Coleman to be that right tackle. So does Andrew Wiley kind of kick into that right guard position is my question now. Like, does he play right guard for Cosme until he's, till Cosme's ready? And Andrew Wiley, I think you have an easy out with him after this year too. Like that's what that reconstruction kind of did. Now you have an easy out with him after this year. So, I don't think his future in Washington lasts too much longer. I think they're kind of gearing themselves up to kind of say, we're going to move on from Andrew Wiley. But who holds down that right guard position? I mean, because Allegretti right now, as we know, he's still the left guard, right? I mean, you know what you have at center, you know what you have at left tackle. Yeah, you know what you have at left tackle. Right tackle now is penciled in as Brandon Coleman for the time being. So now it's the guard spots that are the question marks. Allegretti, he was decent, but I don't know if he's a starting guard. I feel much better with Allegretti if I know he's your depth guard. But as of right now, he's penciled in as the left guard because now it's the right guard position that you're kind of worried about. So that's what you kind of get with this whole situation. Either way, I do think the offensive line is better now than it was last year. Like, I mean, Laramie Tunsil just improved. Maybe initially we thought two positions. Because you're kicking Brandon Coleman somewhere to whether it's going to be inside or outside. But if you kick Andrew Wiley into the inside now because Brandon Coleman plays right tackle, and Andrew Wiley maybe he's better at guard than he was at tackle, you just improved 3 positions with the Laramie Tunsil trade. So now it's just the question of can these guys actually fill these roles that the team envisions them playing? Can Brandon Coleman be the right tackle that the team envisions him playing? Because, some people said he may be better suited at guard. Then the team's going to be either looking like a genius after this, or they're going to be looking at, you're going to be kind of questioning Adam Peters. Like, man, Adam, you saw tackle in Brandon Coleman, but he didn't kind of fill out at either one of those spots, whether it be left tackle or right tackle. So now you have to push him in the guard, which is fine if he ends up becoming a successful guard. But if your evaluation of this guy was tackle and you kind of wasted 2 years playing this guy at tackle, then you're going to kind of question him a bit. So it's going to be one of those dilemmas with this kind of whole decision thing. And it's going to be one of the more intriguing things to watch for me as the regular season progresses.
So did Brandon Coleman play any right tackle at TCU?
He played all 5.
Yeah, he played all over the line, except center probably.
He played all 5. I can't tell you his snap count at each position.
Okay.
But this is from the horse's mouth himself. He played all 5. I've only seen him play left tackle and left guard.
Yeah, I've only seen left tackle and left guard. Maybe he did it spring ball or something like that. But I hate the decision of moving him to right tackle. But then at the same token, I'm wondering if this is being used as like information given to the media to not tip their hand possibly in certain rounds of the draft. But I absolutely, if they're going to really stick to what they're saying, I think it's a waste of time moving him to right tackle. I think the same reason why you moved on from him at left tackle is the same thing that's going to exist at the right tackle position. I'd rather put him next to Laramie Tunsil and create a left side that's elite of my offensive line. I just don't understand the need to move him from left to right. I don't think that he's a tackle in this league. I think for him, his best option is to be a guard. And some people may say that's unfortunate. Adam Peters lost out on his vision as far as Brandon Coleman at tackle. But I think for the longevity purposes of his career, he can be like Sam Cosmi. Back in the day when Sam Cosmi got drafted, I hated that they moved on from Morgan Moses at right tackle to have Cosmi step in at that position. And what ultimately happened, Cosmi got bumped into guard, and now he's one of the highest paid guards in the NFL. And I think that's the same path that should happen for Brandon Coleman. But I guess they'll see. They'll get some opportunities to have mini camp and all these different things and see how he fares. But I just think that is a major waste of time of even attempting to put him at right tackle. I think he should ultimately be the left guard next to a Lermy Tunsil and being able to learn and building that camaraderie with him. And of course, Dieter at not Dieter. Oh my, that was a mistake.
Mistake.
Tyler
Biotis.
Biotis at center, and then Wiley at right guard, and then maybe your right tackle isn't on the roster right now. But I just wouldn't force myself to put Coleman there. That's just my personal opinion. When I heard Dan Quinn say that, I got mad because I'm just like, you guys are bullshitting at this point because it doesn't make sense to me.
But AJ, he wasn't that bad at left tackle, was he? I mean, he had his issues where you don't want to put him there, but he wasn't like extremely bad to the point where you don't think he could play tackle at all, right?
I mean, for me, if you already decided going into year 2, we need to go get a Lermy Tunsil. Yeah, he's a top player, but if you already
top 2,
yeah, but I'm if you think that, I don't know how you could then say, oh, he should be good at right tackle, especially I hear what you guys are saying as far as he said he's played all 5 positions from the tape after he got drafted, because I'm not going to sit here and act like I knew a bunch about Brandon Coleman before he got selected. I only seen him at left guard and left tackle. I never seen him in actual snaps with TCU on the right side as a right tackle or any other position on the O-line. So I'm just curious to that. I think he had some issues footwork wise, hand placement wise. He struggled against speed rushers, power rushers. He did fairly decent against. I just don't see why I would put him at right tackle. I'd rather him be a Moeller at left guard next to Lermy Tunsil and solidify that right.
A Mauler.
Huh?
A Mauler.
Yeah, Mauler.
Moeller.
A Mauler, a Mauler Forest. but yeah, I'd rather see him be a dog. Let me just simplify it. I'd rather see him be a dog with Lermy Tunsil and the screen game over there, like in the run game together, and then I can figure out what I'll do in the interim while Cosmi is bouncing back from his torn ACL, and also what I'll do at that right tackle position. But I'm not about to. I don't know. That's just my opinion, but I think a part of me also wants to believe that they don't want to say too much and they want to be able to go into the draft feeling like they're a threat to select any position and forcing teams to possibly make that call to them to inquire about moving up or whatever the case is. And that's a smart play, because a lot of the tackles in this draft are projected to be guards.
Yeah, I don't have too much on this, honestly. I do prefer him to be a guard, but it's like I've been like in our entire like thought process analysis breakdown of like this whole ordeal about what to do with Coleman. Like I'm not too surprised that they were putting him at tackle. Again, this is something that AP stood on, and that's not I'm not speaking from a dismissive standpoint. More so just from the idea of like I've been prepared for this for a while. Like he was going to probably play tackle to some degree. I do think what's interesting in just understanding Coleman's rookie year and where he is right now. I think that they were impressed with his rookie season. I think that they saw the traits that they wanted to see out of a tackle as a rookie. And I mean, for all of the question marks that I have for Brandon, who knows what an off season of training and focus can really do for him. This year you're going into another competition though. Like last year you was dealing with Cornelius Lucas and Trent Scott. This year you're dealing with Andrew Wiley. Like there is no position yet that you can say your own. But maybe that could be a motivating factor for Brandon. But also like from a standpoint of winning the competition, like I think of like how are you working to get better? I don't like that he stops his feet sometimes when he gets engaged. And he's a waist bender. And that gets him in trouble more times than that. So those are technical things that I think you can fix. It's just like how hard are you going to work at fixing those things? And that's something I just can't speak on right now. But we'll cross that bridge come preseason because he's going to get them snaps and you'll see exactly where they want to put him when they get them preseason reps. And even in training camp, if we get access this year, I'm gonna be there, tapped in every practice. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Could be a Brandon Scherf situation. Remember when Brandon Scherf got drafted? They thought he was a tackle, and it took them like 2-3 practices before they said we moving this Joe with a guard.
Yeah, I thought about that, and that's kind of where I'm like on the fence of like AP might be like, and I only point to AP most time because he's the one that stood on. We view him as a tackle.
Yeah.
So, but like AP just may be stubborn and like in the sense of like he wants him to work at tackle right now. First and foremost, because that's how they view him, and he's adamant about it until Coleman shows that he can't do it, or he can't do it at an effective level to where he could start at that position over somebody else on the roster. All right, let's get to the draft simulator. Damn, it's all right. Let's think about how we're going to do this simulator. I'm gonna do 3 rounds,
right,
so we're gonna have to make some moves. Like no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We're gonna have to
make.
Do
we have moves. To make moves, or can we pick?
You don't have to.
You
can do. Right. Yeah, actually, you know what? I thought you don't have to.
No, you got to make moves. What?
No, we don't have to. I don't make moves, but I'm just saying.
Either you got to trade up or move back in the first round at minimum.
Okay.
So like, what's the real? That's why I said like, what are we agreeing on, bro? Because like, there's different ways we can really do this.
So what
are we going? If y'all want to do that, that's fine. I'm just asking.
What I was thinking is we could do the 3 rounds, but in the first round at the 29th pick, if we do it in slow mode, either you have to trade up or you have to trade back.
Okay.
All right. So that's the first round only. So you have to. You can't stay at 29. We have to trade up or trade down.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
All right.
So that's why it got to be done in slow mode. So if you already have a player in mind and you're interested in moving up to get that guy, you got to be attentive to what's going on with these other teams and who they picking, and get Mual to pause the draft and make an offer.
Okay. All
right. Let's go ahead and do. Let me present my screen. Okay. All right. Who wants the first stab at this? Should I go first? I went last time.
Yeah, go first, Mual. You go first.
Yeah, you're the draft guru, Mel Kiper.
Yeah, my God, Mual, bro.
Yeah, I think everybody
won, by the way.
My draft last
time. I'm about to say I won, by the way.
Yeah, I was second. I think I was second.
Yeah, we know who was last.
Already told y'all.
AJ didn't have that many picks though. AJ only had.
I already told y'all what's gonna happen.
AJ was hating like a motherfucker, boy.
The people that was gonna vote was gonna pick. They were gonna pick whoever had the most picks. They were gonna pick whoever had the most picks. That's
he over here side convo with people like just because they got more picks don't mean it was better.
AJ was trying to bribe them.
All right, let me go ahead and start this joke, bro. Where am I at? All right,
we're doing 3 rounds, right? Okay.
Yeah, 3.
You
3
can do
rounds.
Normal for real.
Wait, did I do 3 rounds?
Yeah, you could probably do normal.
Let me go back.
Refresh that joint. That shit had Aston Jetty going number 2.
God,
all right, here we go. 3 rounds. Cam Ward.
I don't see nothing on mine.
Yeah, it's frozen.
I just see
it froze. All right.
simulator.
I got you. I'm gonna go ahead and reshare the screen. All right, there we go. Should be showing now. Yeah, I see it. All right, let's keep going. So the Jets got Shadir. Wait, there gotta be
Why we can't see the picks?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like this. Oh, there we go.
All right.
I had to scoot. Damn, I had to scoot y'all all the way. All right. I think that's still good.
I mean, we can see each other.
No, that's fine, right? I can see that now. Yeah.
Remember, you gotta either trade up or trade back.
Yeah.
It's up to you, Mo. See somebody you like.
What you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm looking now. Where's okay. Hey, what y'all think about Luther Burden, bro? Like not about the player himself, but like those rumors about his stock. Like, do y'all think that's real? His draft stock falling?
I mean, I can see it. I can definitely see it.
I mean, I think he's a slot wide receiver. So if you have a guy like a Mecca Ibuka kind of being projected as a later first round pick, then a Luther Burden is a second round pick.
Yeah, right.
Because he's not an outside guy.
Yeah, Ibuka's been falling like a mug too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you decided to stay back and take one of these deals, huh?
No, he gonna
have to take one of these or offer somebody else.
Yeah, I'm on the
no sense.
I'm on to see what's up. I'm out to see what's up.
I think Mual's gonna end up taking that Bengals trade.
As you think, bro?
I feel like that's what you're gonna do.
Yeah, I the only thing that's killing me is 20 picks back.
20 spot. But you did that before. The last mock draft
was it 20?
When was I think you picked in like the 40s or something. Like using the 40s.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead. Since we got two in the top 100, I'll move back and I'll give them, matter of fact, counter. I will give you a 6 and a 2026 third. That's a lot. Here we go. What do you say? There it is. All right. Damn, I forgot to call.
I'm about to say, but Mo, you ain't getting no extra picks in this draft.
I forgot to call out.
He said,
"Oh damn, that was a 2026."
Yeah,
no, I did get an extra pick. I got my third, didn't I?
No, you just got. They already offered you that. They had already offered you 81 and 49 for 29 and like next year.
Yeah,
so
like
you got nothing extra.
You damn right it went through because you gave up more.
Oh, well, ain't nobody gonna know that. Ain't nobody gonna know what I did.
Jay Tyler knows. I think he's in.
Until I clip this and put this on X tomorrow morning.
Yeah, you ain't gonna. All right, that's what's up. Bro, I don't know what just happened. Then that's wicked.
When I tell them that you out here giving up free picks,
because I'm trying to figure out. I was over here like, I gotta talk to the podcast about what I just did, and I'm like, damn, I forgot what I did.
Sound good.
Yeah, that one.
What's this? You know what? Decline these, bro.
Yeah, those on. Yeah.
All right, who I got on the board, bro? All right, at 49, second round pick. We see Landon Jackson on the board, Travion Henderson, JT Tuamamalola, Isaiah Bond up there, Jaden Higgins. I'm gonna go with the Havoc Reeker, Landon Jackson, because him and Javon Kinlaw would be a very interesting ordeal to have both of them on the field at the same time. So I'm going to go get my edge rusher at 49 from Arkansas. And then my next pick is at 61. Yeah, Jay Tizzy, bro, mind your business, bro.
Hey, he told you to draft Landon Jackson, though, which is actually what you ended up doing.
Mind your business, bro. Over here worried about the wrong things, bro. Hey. Wait, I did get a third round pick. Then I know I'm not tripping.
Yeah, but they had already offered you that. Like that was you didn't have to do any countering because they had already offered you that pick.
You gave them
I
extra
thought
picks.
I thought I gave them.
You gave them an extra pick and didn't get anything back in return.
Damn, bruh. That sucks. I thought
Hey,
you
on your Ron Rivera. It's cool.
Hey, we can't win them all.
When that picture go out and they say Mo won it again. So I'm saying I'm be good, bro.
You on your Ron Rivera.
Let's see what we got. I'm gonna go defense. I'm gonna go cornerback. I know about Maxwell Hairston.
I like Maxwell Hairston too.
Yeah, I'm gonna see what else we got. Denzel Burke, don't know much about him, but I heard his name. Kobe Bryant still out there. You know what? I'm gonna go with the guy I trust, Maxwell Hairston. That's what I'm gonna go. Maxwell Hairston out of Kentucky. I drafted him at 61. Last week we did it was 2 edge rushers, 2 receivers. This time we get a cornerback and an edge with our first 2 picks of this mock draft. And who do we have? Let me go back to the draft results. We are at 67. My next pick is at 81, round 3. All right, let me go back to all. Hey, bro. Kevin said we got Joe Schoen as our GM, bro.
God damn, he put you as the Giants GM. That's crazy, man.
Hey, man. Where was y'all last week when I was cooking, bro?
Hey, you was Adam Peters last week. You Joe Schoen this week.
Oh, my, how the mighty have fallen. All right. Pick 81 coming up. And we have who on the board? Let's see what we can get on offense. No. Wait, what's the next one? 87 and 124. Is 124? That's a 3rd round?
That's a 4th rounder. I
It's a
think
4th
the 3rd
rounder?
round ends at like 100.
All right, leave me alone. I ain't picking up the phone for y'all bums. All right, let's go. We'll see what we got a receiver. Torrey Horry, that's my dog, bro. But I'm gonna go with top. No, not in the 3rd. Dang, it's probably not a good idea. See what we got at running back. I like Damian. I see you, Damian. You know what? I shouted him out last time. Let me go ahead and get Damian. He like a 4th, 5th rounder, bro.
No, to you, if he higher on your draft board, take him.
Hey, pick your guy.
It's your draft board.
I like Giddens too.
This is not Pro Football Network's draft board. This is Jamal's draft board.
See, I don't trust y'all too for whatever reason.
Shitty ass draft.
I just don't trust y'all, bro.
I'm just saying, like the NFL draft boards don't look like this.
Like. Go for it. Hey man, you giving up extra picks.
Nobody know that.
Taking up.
Somebody said Scatterbo. They wanted Scatterbo in the 3rd round. Where y'all think Scatterbo gonna fall, bro?
Taking randoms
undrafted. Be like 3rd or 4th for Scatterbo. Somebody might try to jump the shark and go.
I would not draft. What am I doing with him? Like, what would be the purpose?
Like, I personally wouldn't draft him. He's too slow for me.
I'm not drafting him, bro. There's way too many running backs in the draft using picks on somebody just because he white.
Giants got my guy Anthony Dalton.
He white and run the ball like. Bro, there's so many running backs.
Oh, you went DJ Giddens, which is actually DJ Giddens is nice. I like DJ Giddens.
That's what I saw. It was the 2026 second that was throwing me. I thought I got there second round. I thought I got a second round.
Yeah, they gave you
but I got
there.
Hey, great draft.
Nah, for sure. I came up with a 2026 second, bro. Hell yeah.
And you also gave up a 2026 pick as well.
What I get him?
You gave up a 3rd.
Oh. All right.
How quickly do you forget?
All right, let's go ahead and go 3 rounds slow. Who's up next?
I'll go up next.
Go ahead, AJ. All right, I go last.
All right.
No, normal.
Yeah, no bullshit, bro. We don't need to go
slow. Slow.
And on top of that, where is? Let me go back. Let me stop and reshare. Present, share. All right, there we go. All right, so we back. 3 rounds, normal, enter. Let's get it. You just gonna have to talk to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you know.
I'm just stay at pause.
Yeah, stay at pause. Pause. You pause
All
it.
right. Yeah, pause it.
Let me see who's on the board.
Ravens.
I can't even. How do I move? Bruh.
Yeah, I'm scared of what the Ravens could do right here.
Who do you like right here? That's so.
So
All
you
right.
have Nick Scouton, Emeka Ibuka, Luther Burden, Talik Williams.
All right, I want you to make a proposal to the Baltimore Ravens.
All right.
So I want you to do Washington's 29th overall pick.
All right.
I want you to do pick 205
All right.
and pick 2026 third. And then I want the Ravens 27th pick. I want their 91st pick. And then I want their 176.
Ravens would be crazy to accept that trade.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say nothing, but
I mean, let's see.
They getting the worst end of this deal. Like,
okay. Go. All right. Proposed again. With the Ravens. Commanders 29th. Do 128 and do the Washington's third of 2026.
all right.
And then Baltimore's 27th overall pick.
All right.
And then let me go back up. I'm trying to see this shit. My bad. I'm looking like intensely like a month. Let's see. Let me ask for Baltimore's second round pick next year.
All right, I'll
Okay.
put it.
All right, we gonna stay put. Just resume it. Okay. All right. All right. Let me see the next option. Go back to Tennessee's offer. Yeah,
That one ain't that bad.
I'll take that.
All right, so for the listeners, AJ is trading his 29th and his 245th pick, which I imagine is like his 7th, or a 7th. For the 35th pick, he's moving back 6 spots and he's acquiring the pick 103 as well. All right, let's go ahead and accept that.
Damn.
They took your guy?
Yep, took my guy.
Who's your guy for the people that's listening?
My guy was Donovan Ezeraku.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to get up to go get. 35. Is that my only offer?
You got the Chargers. They giving you pick 55 in 2026. Second.
I'm gonna reject it.
Reject this one or both?
Yeah, reject both.
All right. So you up? What you got?
I'm up on the board. Can you scroll up for me?
Oh, scroll up on the.
Nah, not that. Can you scroll down on the players available? Okay. All right. As much as I'm concerned with the off the field thing, Let's go with Mike Green, the defensive end.
You said off the field?
Yeah, I'll still second round. I'll take that risk.
What's going on off the field with Mike?
Some things that we should just leave alone for Trevor Dive. Nah, it's allegations of like sexual assault.
Oh, I wouldn't want to touch that. I'm sorry. I already don't like his size. Then you add the character issues.
Yeah, we take it just for the hell of the. There's some players there that I like, but I wanted to move up to make sure I could get Donovan Ezeraku. I was hoping that Baltimore wouldn't take him. They didn't, but then he got drafted by Buffalo.
All right, so you have you have 2 trade offers on the board. Pick 61 for Dallas's 76, and their third, and you're also giving up your 205, and then you have the Texans who's giving you pick 79 and 89 for your 61st and 205.
Ooh.
Let me see who's on the board. Can I see? Can you hide it real quick?
Yeah, I got it.
Man, 61.
Right. And you've picked Mike Green, edge defender. You have Quinshon Judkins, Isaiah Bond, Tate Ratledge, offensive guard.
I'm gonna take that Houston trade.
You want to take the Houston trade? All right,
Yeah.
so it's a trade offer. Take the Houston. We're going to accept Houston's, and you get 35, 79, 89. Okay. What did you have before? Tripping? Am I tripping?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
It's tougher.
Okay.
Damn, 2026. Oh, they must really like somebody.
Can you hide that real quick? Let me see who's on the board. That's the top player on the board, Jack Beck.
Yeah, Jack Beck, TCU.
Can you go to
Kevin Winston?
Can you go to running back position?
Cam Scatterboo, by Shaw Tootin, Damian Martinez, Ali. I actually think on a weird level, even though his combine didn't even help him at all, that Ollie Gordon is better than like his last year.
Oh, he's nice.
Okay,
Oh, Ollie Gordon was a beast the year
Ollie
before.
Gordon is nice, bro.
That's what I'm thinking. Like
he's nice. That's why I said there's too
him.
many running backs to be thinking about Cam Scatterboo in like third, fourth round. Like
Cal Monunga is a beast for Rutgers.
Devin Neal is nice. Like I mean, RJ Harvey is nice. Like, can you go to wide receiver? Even Dallas Sampson from Tennessee is nice. Like, can you go to wide receiver?
Yeah, my bad. I was
good.
Sending all 32 a message. All right, we have wide receiver. Jack Beck, Kyle Williams.
Can you go to tight end?
Oh, you just going to ignore Torrey Horton? Just staring right at you.
No, isn't Tiz Johnson? What's his name? Bo Nix's brother, like his adopted brother.
Elijah Arroyo.
Yeah.
Luke Lachey.
I go back to that trade thing.
Okay.
Those trades are nothing Texans. You want. I'm gonna tell you right now, AJ, you don't want either one of those trades. Houston doesn't pick in this draft we're doing. They don't.
But getting first off, they giving us our fourth back. But
next year.
Yeah, but if it shows up on your results, like
That's
my
true.
2026 pick.
No, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Like if
try to get you to join the club.
I mean, look, if people smart, they gonna see the work I put in, bro. They gonna
go ahead, reject that.
They gonna see the work I put in, bro. All right, reject both of them.
Yeah.
All right.
If you could go to D tackle position.
Hey, Jay Tizzy, you's a hater.
Let me get
all you do, bro.
Go to cornerback real quick.
All right.
Go to safety real quick. All right, I'm gonna have you go back to D tackle and get Dwayne Walker from Kentucky.
Dwayne, did I just pass him?
Dion, you passed.
Oh, Dion. Yeah, I'm about to say
Dion.
all right,
Yeah, Dion.
Okay.
Walker.
All right. He said Dre gonna win by default. Yeti said, "Damn, Mike would." Oh, when there's smoke, there's fire. Don't
Got
want
another
Mike
pick.
to-
Reject
Oh,
that
you up?
shit.
Okay.
Reject that shit. All right, let's go to tight end.
Could have got my boy Joshua Farmer, man. You know, but you already drafted a D tackle.
Oh, okay. I see
Royal
something.
still there.
Let me go to wide receiver. Okay.
Hey, the big dog still there. Torrey Horton.
I got some options. Let me go to running back.
Okay, the big dog still there. Damian Martinez. Well, I mean, they are like outside.
I got some tough decisions, man. Wide receiver or tight end. I think someone that would do well in this offense with Jaden Daniels would be Arroyo, the tight end from Miami.
First thing you're doing a trade down is for a guy.
AJ, you stopped going BPA.
You said you want a Royal?
Yeah.
He went straight for knee.
Right.
He stopped BPA. He didn't want BPA.
Who? You said AJ went for.
Yeah, AJ went for knee. He didn't go for BPA.
Nah. After I lost Donovan, after I lost.
He let his draft plan just go out the window.
Nah, I still had my draft plan. I still think I took some of the best players on the board. I mean,
that's what I did
30,
too.
35, Mike Green, you know, that's somebody they were projecting to go top 20. Right now, I got him at 35. Then I got me a run stopper D tackle that could eat up double teams and Walker from Kentucky. Then I got me a pass catching tight end and Arroyo. Oh, yeah, we good.
All right, let's go ahead and restart this.
Hey, Jay Tyler, you just a hater, bro.
He said drafted 7th round. All right.
Please tell me who I drafted as a 7th round player. That's how I know you just hating. You just got hate in your blood.
All right, here we go. Dre up, man. He said Dre finna win by default. Still can't believe y'all didn't get Josh Connolly. Could y'all imagine depth and talent at O-line getting him? Okay, all right, here we go. 3 rounds, normal, and Washington selected. Okay, cool. And for those who are just checking in live or reiterating for the podcast, we have to either trade up or trade out of 29. We can't stay at 29 for this mock draft. Let me know when to press pause, bro.
And Jay Tyler, child, please.
I already know I want to trade. I don't want to trade up in this draft. I'm not trading.
I actually don't think they'll do that in real life, in real time anyway, either, bro. I think they didn't exhausted their capital to move up. In my opinion,
take that, Dre.
Let me see the next one.
It's actually not bad.
That's not bad at all. That looks really good. Let me see the next one first.
The Kansas City Chiefs are offering you pick 31 and pick 257 for your
take that one too. Take both.
I'm gonna take that one, the first one. Let me take the first.
All right, the Seahawks.
Seattle. Yeah,
you're gonna get their 50th and their 52nd. You're giving up your 29th and your 245. Let's go ahead and accept that. And we have moved back 21 spots.
All right, I think I can get everything I want now.
Boy,
let's see how this thing shake out.
Child, please. Please.
I don't even have to trade down no more. I already got all my picks. I got 4 picks now.
You got 3.
Oh, 3 picks. Okay.
Yeah, you got 3.
One of these I can trade down if I want.
Yeah, you can. You got trade offers. You got 2 of them for picks 70 and 88.
What's the next one?
From the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then you have, pick 67, 94, and 104 for your 50th and the 2026 third from the Cleveland Browns.
Take that first one for me.
Okay.
Yeah. And
that's a good come up. Because you still got, I think you got 4 now.
Yeah, I don't want no trade now. We picking now.
All right, so you got
Landon Jackson's on the board. I'm taking Landon Jackson, no question.
Okay. We got a copycat in the building.
Hey, that's my guy.
Hey, did y'all notice that we all 3 of us selected Travion Henderson last
I didn't even notice it until we posted.
JP said it, bro. I was like, damn, like I think it was just happenstance. But okay.
All right.
Chicago Bears. You got
next
2
one?
trade offers. Chicago is
want
offering you
that
the 72nd and the 2026 third. We're going to reject that. Dre said he don't want it. And then the Giants
Man,
offer
if
you
you don't
66.
edit your YouTube comment, Jacksonville trade looks delicious. That's insane. Like,
Reject that one.
Go edit your
Hard enough.
YouTube comment.
You said reject this one too?
Yeah, reject that one.
All right.
All right.
So now you up on the clock, bro.
All right.
Who you want?
It's 2 receivers I like right here. There's the playmaker, the big time playmaker, and then there's the big guy in Jaden Higgins. Oh man. Let me go with I feel like Jaden Higgins give us something we don't have right now. Take Jaden Higgins. We'll take him.
All right. What y'all know about Elik Ayamanor?
The Stanford bro.
He's
He not bad. Yeah, I mean, he not bad.
Tools to hypothetically thrive along the perimeter in the NFL. He has a large
He had
catch
a real good game
low
against
skills.
Travis Hunter.
And he scored nation. I do remember that. You talking about last year or this previous season? I remember
Last
it was one
year.
of them zones.
It was
He put up like
year.
200. He put up like 250, 260, something like that on Colorado, right?
Yeah, he did. He cooked them.
Okay. All right, let me go ahead and cancel. I might want to actually try and scout him before the draft. Then. All right, you said who you taking, Jaden?
Yeah, we going with Jaden Higgins.
All right, Jaden Higgins. Hey, you better not be trying to influence people when I put this out there, Jay.
All right, go to all. Let's see who all on the board.
I'm gonna mute you.
Oh, well, I don't want that.
All right, let's see who's all on the board. Let's go to. All right, well, I'll do this first, and then if you want to go to trade offers.
Let's see the other trader. I still one of them. Let's see the other one. What they get.
They're offering you the Cincinnati Bengals, the 81st and the 153rd.
Yeah, reject both of those.
All right. So let's go ahead and look at your board. I'll just scroll down unless you want me to go to a position.
Cam Scatterboo.
No, hell no. All right, go all the way back up. I think I see somebody like damn. Let's do you know what? BPA, man. I'm gonna take Mason Taylor. We're gonna go with Mason Taylor. BPA.
Okay. Mason Taylor.
Jason Taylor. The father didn't work out, the son gotta work out.
Hey, that's funny. Yeah, it's funny though. Like when I think about Mason Taylor at LSU, bro, like I didn't think of him as anything special. And then I seen people talk about his athletic scores and his testing and stuff like that. I'm like, damn, like he really. I was like, it was underwhelming watching him in games. But
yeah. All right.
You got 2 trade offers. Buffalo is offering you 109 and 2026 third for your 88th and 2026 fifth. You said reject that, so we go ahead and keep pushing.
Don't want that.
And then your Chargers, the Chargers is offering you your 88th and your 2026 7th for your 96 for their 96 in your okay.
Yeah, we'll pass on that. All right. Let's see who's available at running back.
Let's see who's available at running back. And let's go to your picks. You have Landon Jackson, Jaden Higgins, Mason Taylor, and you are picking for your last pick.
All right, and I like Tootin from Virginia Tech. I'm a fan of his, so I'll take him.
Okay, shout out to Thor Nystrom.
Yeah.
I'm definitely winning this one.
I don't know about that, brother.
AJ, bro, you know what I need to start doing? I need to start polling these Jones. I should have polled it last time.
Yeah, get that poll together.
So we can get like some official numbers.
I wanted more defense. Yeah, offense.
Feel me?
AJ, you're not winning, bro.
Hey man, we shall see. We
should think of a bet like one of these Jones, either next week's or no, you out of town next week, so maybe do it the week after.
I'm out of town. Working with my round.
Wait, are you gonna be back? You gonna be back Tuesday? Or you out?
Yeah.
You leave this weekend, right?
Nah, I leave. Dang, I leave next Tuesday. So I should be able to do the show from there.
Oh, okay. All right, bet.
Yeah.
Did I save this? I didn't save it. Let me save this. All right, there we go. I think we got all 3. Let's check. Did we? All right, bet we got them. All right, cool. Saved them. We will post these tomorrow morning. and we will add a poll to the Jones so we can figure out who's really winning. All right, yeah, we should go ahead and do some little wagering, bruh. Like, well, I mean, whenever we do link up again, we get the drinks flowing, bruh. Saying first round or something. All right.
I'm with it.
Okay, say no more. Yeti said Dre is winning so far, so we're gonna classify you as a hater, along with Jay Tizzy. It's like, all right. We've held Dre long enough. I know what type times you want to have to work, bro. I'm on the same type timing. So let's go and get up out of here. Hey, again, film session out there now with the 4 defensive linemen, Javon Kinlaw, Jake Martin, Eddie Goldman, and who am I missing? Dietrich Wise, sorry. That's out there right now. Take a look at that. And all 32 is postponed. So we'll be back next week. That's all. But yeah, enjoy y'all evening, enjoy y'all night, whenever y'all listen, all that good stuff. We up out of here. Peace.
Chop it down. Chop it down. Chop it down. You gon' chop it down. Chop it down. You gon' chop it down. Damn, set. Watch him throw the ball. We gon' pick it off. You gon' let him hit the hole or you gon' cut it off. You gon' play through 4th and long or you gon' punt it off. Your defenders, heavy hitters, put your pads in. Don't be looking for the ref to throw no flags in. Keep the helmet on, keep the cleats tight. You the type to want to win by any means, right? You should look alive. This is Trap or Die.